So, without further ado, let's get a recap of week 2. Week 2 was a little better for me. The channel, on the other hand, was 7-7. But week 2 for me in the wallet was 8-6, and I went 3-2 on 2-unit plays. So we did make some money last Saturday. So unfortunately, we lost Navy. They had 2 lightning delays, and it kind of fouled up momentum. I don't know. They should have easily scored 3 or more touchdowns than UAB, but it is what it is. It happened. The defense didn't show up, so we lost that one. Oregon beat the absolute snot.
Ban Brett!
Absolute snot out of Oklahoma State. Appreciate that follow, Tomatonga12. How we doing today? Oregon just annihilated Oklahoma State. I mean, it was 69-3. They got the magic number there of 69. Look, I thought they would win by like 35. I didn't think it'd be by 66. That was crazy. So we got 2 units there. We missed the freaking Kentucky team total under by a field goal with 10 bloody seconds left. That one just killed me because they didn't need to kick the effing field goal. They were down by 10. Just go try to score a touchdown and fail, please. Why are you kicking a field goal? You're still going to be down 7. Now you got to rely on getting an onside kick. I understand the logic, but I would prefer to get the touchdown out of the way first. I don't know. People are weird. They didn't need to do it. So we lost that one by 2.5 points. And that stung a little bit. I'm surprised they even got to 20 before that anyway. But it is what it is. Maybe Ole Miss isn't as good as we thought. We got the parlay of Iowa plus 7.5 and then the under. The old Cyhawk came through again. It's always close. It's always low scoring. And that's the formula we use, so we hit a parlay there. Southern Miss that was a 2-unit play. That was a Saturday move over Jackson State. I don't know why the line was so little, but it was. And Wisconsin was another 2-unit play that they dominated Middle Tennessee State. Then we got Illinois, money line. I wasn't feeling confident about the spread. I just went with money line, but we got it anyway. They won by a lot. We lost SMU, Kennesaw State, App State, and Rice. But we got UConn by a hair. We got the South Florida money line. And we got Oklahoma -4. So the wallet went 8-6, 3-2 on 2-unit plays. And on the show, we went 7-7. Of the non-wallet plays, there was a miss on Texas. There was what else did we miss? And we missed the over on UCLA, UNLV. We missed that by 1.5, I believe. I think they got to 53. So we had the right idea there. What I didn't bet, but I wanted to, but I was already up. So I was like, I'm walking away. But I would have bet Mississippi State because I did on the show, and I would have done the under for Oklahoma, Michigan as well, and that did come through as well. But I stopped betting because I was up. And also Arkansas. We got Arkansas on the show as well. So 7-7, not bad, especially for week 2. You know, NIL and transfer portal, all that stuff. It's hard to do well in the first 2 weeks. So now is when we kind of figure teams out a little bit. So let's get into week 3, shall we? Not a ton of big action this week. Right now, Wake Forest is tied with NC State. I didn't have anything on that, and I don't have anything really tomorrow either. I don't like either of those 2 games. I would lean with Houston here, but I'm kind of waiting for it to get to 3. I think Houston's a little undervalued here, and I think that Houston will win this game. I just want this number to get to 3. Colorado's switching up quarterbacks. That could be a good thing. That could be a bad thing. I don't know. It seems like they got some things to figure out there in Colorado. I'm not doing anything with Kansas State. I mean, I don't know. That team is supposed to be good this year. Doesn't seem like they are right now. So I'm staying away from their games. I don't know why UCLA is only favored by 15.5 over New Mexico. But the way they've looked recently, I don't want anything to do with them. So that's a avoid as well. There's going to be a lot of avoids this week, actually. Small lean to Michigan, but I don't love it. I feel like this number's spot on. Here's the first play. that I like. Now, you can get a 21 on DraftKings, I'm pretty sure, right now. Let's see if it's still available. I saw it earlier. Yep, the 21 is still there on DraftKings. So this is my first big play of the day. All right. I'm not a huge Crimson Tide fan either, but in this instance, we're going to play the Alabama. Give me the Crimson Tide, minus 21. I don't think this Wisconsin team is very good. I know they beat Middle Tennessee State by a lot last week, but Middle Tennessee State also got creamed by Austin Peay. So maybe Wisconsin's not too much better than Austin Peay. I don't know. But Alabama, come on, you're at home. They blasted them last year on the road. I don't think Alabama, they're going to be like on the bubble between the playoff, maybe on the outside looking in, but they're still Alabama. They're going to win by 24, 27 here. Okay, just take the Tide. Don't ask questions. All right. Okay, so that's the first best play of the day. Moving on, I do like Memphis here, even though Troy looked really good against Clemson last week. And Troy is decent at home, but, it's still a Sun Belt. Your home field advantages aren't that great. It's really just the traveling that affects the road team. And Memphis literally is, a 4-hour, 5-hour bus ride down to Troy. That's not that bad. So give me Memphis here, but that's not a best bet of the day by any means. But I'll be taking Memphis. They're just a better team. Another one of our best plays happens to be in this game. Now, I went to Oregon, so there's a little bit of bias here, but really this comes down to, I bet against Oregon week 1. So I know the market when they're off, and they're off here. This should be about 30.5. Really. So another best play of the day is right here with the Ducks. Northwestern, are you trying to tell me that Northwestern is that much better than Oklahoma State? Are they 30-plus points better than Oklahoma State? Get out of here. They're about the same level, if not slightly better. There ain't no way. I know it's a road game. I don't think the Ducks care anymore about the traveling. They got used to it last year, so. And the only thing that worries me is the wind on that small stadium. It's right on the lake there in Chicago. So maybe you won't have as much success through the air, but it doesn't matter. Oregon is actually primarily a running team this year, so the wind is not going to affect them at all. And I don't think Northwestern is going to score that much in this game. They haven't looked. Northwestern lost to Tulane. They got killed. They got killed by Tulane. Tulane and Oregon. Give me the Ducks to win big. Again, I think the market's a little low on them. I thought they were going to be worse this year, but they surprised me. Give me Oklahoma here. Not a best bet, but it's a lean. I'll be taking Oklahoma here, especially if it gets to 21. Who's Temple to be keeping it close here? Come on. Oklahoma looked great last week. Small look-ahead spot to Auburn next week, but I still like Oklahoma to win there pretty easily. This is a tough one here. I was kind of hoping it would be Georgia Tech like +7. I would have taken the Yellow Jackets all day. I'm tempted to drive down to this game, to be honest. I think it's going to be a good game. I have a small lean to Georgia Tech, anything 3.5 and above. But I feel like Clemson could figure it out on Saturday and win this game. So if you see a 2.5 or smaller, maybe you go with the Tigers. But anything above 3.5, I think I like the Yellow Jackets here. So they're at home. It's probably this is their biggest home game of the year. So besides Georgia, obviously, that's sort of home, right? Because it's in the same state. But this is definitely the one they circled for league. You gotta think it's going to be amped out down there. I'm a little disappointed it's in the morning. So I could see Georgia Tech pulling this one off here, if not keeping it close. So I have a small lean with the Yellow Jackets there. I'm hoping the number climbs to like 4 or so. Yeah, I'm not touching that. That's a lot of points for Baylor to cover there. Wouldn't be surprised if South Alabama made this a game. I mean, Hugh Freeze is notorious for letting mid-majors come in and upset them. The coach before him did that too at Auburn, but I'm not going to pick this game. I would not be surprised if this is closer than the experts think. UConn looks pretty good this year. I think 10.5 is a lot for them to lay though, because they don't score a whole lot. They are coming off a emotional overtime loss to Syracuse last week. So I'm probably not going to play this game, but I think anything over 10, you probably go Delaware. Anything under 10, you go UConn. I think that's the way you would approach that. I would think a lot of points would be scored with North Texas and Washington State. I don't know how Washington State has been as a system this year because they lost their coach from last year. They might still be a high-scoring offense. They usually are. I think they put up a lot of points on San Diego State last week. And North Texas historically is a high-scoring team, so you almost look at maybe the over here. But I will not be betting this game at all. Texas Tech looks really good. They've been putting up big numbers here. And Oregon State has not looked good, but maybe this is like a motivational time for them. I think this is either a blowout or a really close game. So you got a 50-50 shot here. Either Texas Tech's going to annihilate them or Oregon State's going to be right there knocking on the door. Pick which side you want to lean there. Okay, so this one almost made the best bet board. Almost. This is Georgia-Tennessee, the biggest game on Saturday. It's a rivalry, and Georgia's won, 8 or 9 in a row. I think this is Tennessee's best chance to end the streak. I do. They're at home. Neyland's a loud, tough place to play. This doesn't appear to be a vintage Georgia team. I mean, they only beat Austin Peay by 25 or so last week. They kind of sleptwalked through that game. I know they probably had Tennessee on their minds, but Tennessee played last week, and they didn't sleepwalk through their opponent in East Tennessee State. They put up 70-plus points. I think both defenses are good, so under could happen here. But I think anything over 4 points for a rivalry when both teams on a neutral site, I would make a pick 'em, if not maybe Georgia -2. I think because you're at home, I gotta play that music. That's not the music. For some reason, Rocky Top is playing a different song. That's odd. Okay, well, Rocky Top was supposed to be played, but it's playing a different song. Just pretend that Rocky Top is playing in your heads, all right? I'm going with Tennessee here, +4.5. I hope this number keeps growing. Do we get a 5 over here? No, it's 4, so get that 4.5 now. I think this comes down to a field goal. I think it's going to be a dogfight. Tennessee maybe even sprinkle the money line here. I mean, at Neyland, there's always a shot. So, especially when game day's in town, I think you take the Vols there, small lean. Backyard brawl, I never bet because it's utter chaos and usually doesn't make sense. Oftentimes in the backyard brawl, the best team doesn't even win. So I'm not even touching it. But I will say, West Virginia looks really bad this year, but they are at home. So, but I'm not touching it. Backyard brawl, the rule of thumb, you don't touch that game. Bill Belichick Bowl, yeah, I need to see more from North Carolina to have a good judgment based off of them. But, I mean, you got to think they could beat Richmond by that much. But Richmond's a really good FCS program, so be careful there. I think USC covers this number, but I like 21 better. Oh, okay. 20.5. Yeah, I'll play that. I will play USC -20.5. It's not a lock by any means, but I will be on the 20.5 there. I think Purdue keeps it close early on, but Lincoln Riley he likes to send a message, so he'll probably keep his dogs in there in the fourth quarter, and they maybe have a late cover. Maybe it's a 14-point game in the third quarter, and then they score again in the fourth, and then they do cover. Hey, Magical Tina, how we doing? All right. Not going to play these games. 40.5's too much for me, though Texas didn't cover last week. I have actually, contrary to most experts that are taking Miami this week, I'm actually leaning with the Bulls. I think this Bulls team is better than we think. They blasted Boise State. They went up to the Swamp and beat Florida last week. And I think 17.5 is disrespectful to a team that is 2-0 with 2 ranked wins. They're the only team in the country with 2 ranked wins right now. Do I think South Florida is going to win? No. But I think 17.5 is a slap in the face. So I will take all of those points. And Mario Cristobal, historically, against mid-majors or teams that he should beat, sometimes they come out a little sluggish. So I will take those 17.5 points and hope that they lose by 10. I mean, I would love a win, but I'm not gonna sprinkle that. Not a bad sprinkle play though, I will say. Just keep it low, like maybe $3 or something. How much would that pay anyway? $3. Yeah, you'd win $15.90. Not bad. Not a bad little sprinkle. I'm not gonna do that game. That I don't think anybody in their right mind besides alumni is gonna be watching that. Moving on here. Not seeing anything else. That's a decent mid-major game there. Okay, another game that I like this week. I'm a little disappointed that we're seeing 3.5s, though. This opened at, 6.5 or 7? The sharp money has come in hard on Vanderbilt, and it's 3.5 on DraftKings as well. I'm going to go look for some 4s, but I do like the Commodores here. So I'm going to play that music. This is one of the better plays of the weekend. Chillin', how about you? I'm doing good. It's a weekend, Tina, so I'm looking forward to it. It's playoffs. It's playoffs for my baseball league, too. We win our first game Sunday. We go to the championship. Exciting stuff. The boys down, says Bugatti Bailey. So give me the Doors. I think they can win this game outright. I'm not big on South Carolina after watching them the last 2 weeks. I thought they were going to be a sleeper to get into the playoff going into this year. Now, I actually think Vanderbilt could be a sleeper to get into maybe that 11 or 12 seed. And their chances increased dramatically with a win on Saturday. I think they know that. They looked impressive against Virginia Tech, and they handled their business in week 1 as well. So I'm taking Vanderbilt here. I'll take the 3.5, but I think they can win outright as well. Of course, I would have loved the 7 back when it was available. You got to think Illinois can cover this game. I mean, they beat Duke by, this amounts. So I'm a little surprised this isn't like 30. I'll take the Illini here. I think they'll win. I mean, hold on a second. Who are they playing next week? Is this a look-ahead spot? Yeah, it kind of is. They got Indiana next week. That could be a little concerning. Could be a look-ahead spot. You know, maybe they get like a 35-7 lead, and then they put in their second string a little earlier than usual. So be careful of a backdoor cover here. But I still like the Illini to cover that number. Be careful, Old Dominion here. Not a bad money line sprinkle because they know those boys over in Blacksburg. Old Dominion is in Virginia too. Foxine, how we doing? Yeah, they know those boys over there. You know those boys in Norfolk. They wanna upset their older brother there at Virginia Tech. So be careful there. I actually like the Hogs here. If we can get a 7 with Arkansas, I like it even better. I do. But I don't know if we can get it. Yeah, all the 7s are gone. But I still think Arkansas could upset here. I'm doing good. We're about ready to jump into some races here once we get these picks done. And so, yeah, just cruise into the weekend. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, so I like Arkansas here. I'm just not that impressed with Ole Miss this year. And there could be some injury issues here, so maybe be careful with this until you know who's playing in this game, because word on the street is quarterback might be injured, a couple of other key pieces might be injured. That's why you're seeing this number kind of low. And Arkansas is not that bad this year. You know, that's not a long trip down to Mississippi. I think Arkansas is pretty good. You know, they handled Arkansas State team that isn't that bad last week. They've looked pretty good this year, so I'm going to take the Hogs there. Small lean to Ohio State. That's 30.5, but it's 28 over and a half here. So a major group put sharp money on Ohio State. The sharps are right 60% of the time, so keep that in mind. Maybe you tail the sharps there. I would probably go with the unless the opening line was 30.5 and the sharps went on Ohio. Take a look at the opening line on that one, chat. I would go with wherever the sharps went on that. Small lean to Ohio State, but Ohio's pretty good. They did beat West Virginia last week. I like the Pirates here, but I'm going to need something less than a 7 to play that. So I'm going to be watching that one like a hawk. Yeah, it's 7.5 there too. Yeah, you need to get a smaller number there, but I'd be on the Pirates. I don't think Coastal Carolina's that good this year. Unfortunately, it's weird saying that. They're usually always good. Okay, here's another best bet play. Now, this is a rivalry. They got the Gators versus the Tigers here. Yay, racing, right? Yes, we all love racing here. Sports, racing, travel. That's what we do. This is a rivalry here. And Florida got embarrassed last week by South Florida. LSU, they handled their business after a big win at Clemson. Now they're home. They're hosting a Gators team, a program that's out of sorts right now. Either this is must-win situation for Florida to get their coach off the hot seat, or LSU flexes its muscles and they do what they do. What's it going to be? This is where I'm going. I got the Tigers as one of my best plays. Now, you can get a 6.5 out there. There is a 6.5 out there. Don't get the 7.5. I don't remember if it was on. There's a 7 on DraftKings. I think there's a 6.5 out there, though. Shop around. I think LSU is just better. They're really good. They're really good. Take them. I think LSU is going to win by 10 here. So you got a little bit of wiggle room. Go for it. Okay. I'm not touching Notre Dame A&M. I would have a small lean to the under, but I'm just going to enjoy this game. I'm not going to make any plays on it. I'd have a small lean to Notre Dame and the under, but I'm not touching it. I think Notre Dame probably is a better team, but yeah, no leans there. And once again, like Navy, do we take them again after what they did to us last week? I mean, Tulsa's not very good, but you got to think they can win by 14. Tulsa's much improved, though, and it is a road spot. You know how I feel about double-digit home dogs. I have a small lean to Navy, but I don't feel great about it. We'll see what my bankroll looks like come the evening time, and if I pick that game or not, I'll let you know in the Discord. It's going to be windy down in Laramie. Always tough to play at Wyoming, especially if you're a ranked team. Be careful with that one. You see that number, it's like, oh, who's Wyoming? Why are they only 23.5 to them? I'm telling you, be careful. Wyoming's a tough place to play. It's cold. It's windy. A lot of elevation. Not that Utah's not used to elevation, but I'm telling you, be careful whenever you pick against Wyoming at home. I'm not going to touch that game, but I would not be surprised if Utah only won by 21. Buddha, I may be going to the Red Raiders game. Oh, going to see the beat down on the Beavers, huh? I mean, hey, how many times you get the chance to see the Beavers come to town? That's a rare opponent coming to town, so that's not a bad game to pick. TCU looked really good. Tulsa blasted Abilene Christian. So I would think that TCU could do the same thing if they did that to North Carolina, right? Using that logic, I think you go with the Horned Frogs here. I will probably be picking that game. I'm not going to touch these. Akron's really bad, and UAB plays no defense, but they can score. So maybe look at the UAB team total over. They put up some points down there at UAB. They just don't know how to tackle. So maybe an over as well, but I don't trust Akron to do anything. So I don't know. Small lean Utah State here at home. I don't know if Air Force is back yet or not. They had a pretty bad year last year after several good years in a row, but a new coach at Utah State is pretty good. It's Bronco Mendenhall. He came over from New Mexico. You may remember him at BYU and Virginia. So I would think Utah State could cover that number at home. That's where I would be leaning. I mean, I'd have a small lean to Boston College. I think Stanford's atrocious this year. And I probably would lean Cal here, but I don't feel great about it. And that is it, y'all. That is the slate. So y'all that play with me, bet responsibly. Let's get our best plays on the board this week. There they are, Oregon, LSU, Vanderbilt, and Alabama. So I will be back next week. Let's see how we do this week. So far, we're up on the year. Well, we got to start getting those best bets in. So I'm going to swap over to